Well, welcome to another Carpool Consultation, and today we are in Toronto, which is Ontario, Canada. Hang on a second. Just wait, hang on. So this is Marc.
Hello.
We've got Jillian in the background.
Hi.
And would you like to...
Sean Virani. I'm...
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. I'm a cardiologist in Vancouver, in Canada.
So yeah, we're going to have a little drive around Toronto and see what happens and take it from there. Now, let me just switch the music on. There you go. So we've got the Tiger Survivor. That's a good one. Right, take it away.
This is Sean's jam.
This isn't my jam.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
It is now.
It is.
Okay.
Oh,
It's my jam.
What bodes for the future? Oh dear.
Yes.
So anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to learn a little bit about heart failure in Canada, but it may be a good idea just to ask Jillian about her experiences. So over to you, Jillian.
All right, thanks, Nick. Hi guys, I'm Jillian. I am a 9-year heart failure survivor and 2.5-year transplant recipient.
Don't know whether anybody can see us.
And is it too dark?
It's a bit dark.
Do you want me to start over?
No, you can
Okay.
keep going.
And I am a co-founder and president of the HeartLife Foundation, a sister organization of the Pumping Marvellous. This is the Canadian version, I guess. And we are at the Heart Failure Update in Toronto, which is our national heart failure conference put on by our cardiologists. And we just happen to have, for the first time, 27 patients who have crashed the party. And so we brought Nick to help guide us. And so that's where things are at.
That's a big
so
responsibility.
far. Yeah.
So Marc, why are you here?
I am Vice President of the HeartLife Foundation. And as Jillian mentioned, we're here at the Canadian Heart Failure Society Conference. The last time this year we were 2 patients that kind of worked ourselves into the conference, and this year excited to say that we have a whole half-day workshop. And just very excited to be here and really advocate on behalf of Canadians affected by heart failure.
Okay, and Dr. Virani?
So I'm excited to be here too. I have a couple of tie-ins. I am sort of the medical advisor for HeartLife Foundation and very proud to have that role. But I'm also the president of the Canadian Heart Failure Society.
Wow.
So a great opportunity to bring all of those activities that I'm involved in and all the activities that I'm passionate about together. So the opportunity to have patients attend this meeting is really exciting. I think it's unique. We were just chatting about that earlier. I don't think any other cardiac group in Canada or heart failure group globally that I'm aware of has brought patients into their national meeting. So we're really excited to see how this incubator turns out.
Incubator.
Petri dish.
Petri dish incubator.
Can we just note how well he's dressed?
Look at the bow tie.
There you go.
What a great... You haven't seen the briefcase either, have you? I mean, that was a real godsend when we were crossing the busy roads in Ontario, in Toronto.
There you go.
So, well, thank you very much. And Jillian, why are you here? You know, why are you involved in heart failure?
Why do I care?
Oh, why do you care? Why do you do it?
Well, I'm involved really because, you know, shortly after I received my transplant, it really became more and more important for me to find a way that I can give back for the sake of my donor, to honor my donor and my donor family, but also knowing the hundreds of people it's taken to keep me alive for the past 12 years, and they continue to. And I know how important it is as an educator. That's the other part of my life. How important it is to educate people, and especially around heart failure, because there is such a need. And so that's really why I'm here. Is I want to elevate the patient voice and make the patient voice heard. And for us to participate in the conversation. So whether it's from research to everyday things that patients need, and we're just really lucky that we do have people like Sean, Dr. Virani, people like Sean, and the Canadian Heart Failure Society, who've embraced us with open arms and are really helping to lift us up.
So I listened to your speech, Marc, about an hour or so ago, and I was just really inspired by what you were talking about. What gives you the inspiration and the drive to do what you do?
So when I was first diagnosed with heart failure in 2008, I was 23 years old, and it was really a lifestyle change and a shock, I mean, to myself, my friends, and my family. I was fortunate enough to have the support through physicians, through nurses, through family and friends, where I was able to manage my heart failure effectively. In all the instances where the community gave to me that support and that knowledge, that resources, I wanted to find a way that I could give that back to people, where I could help them and they can manage their heart failure effectively and move on about their lives like I have. And so that really brings me and gives me the passion, is to help others really create a better quality of life.
So I think what we'd like to talk about maybe today is you know, where we are with heart failure in Canada, because we know it's a global problem, but you know, where are we in Canada? So am I all right to call you Sean?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So Sean, where are we with heart failure in Canada? What's the sort of, you know, where are we? What's the status of play?
So, you know, we have a sort of 2 to 3% prevalence rate of heart failure in Canada, which is kind of consistent across most Western or Western nations. We, I think, are at a pivotal point in heart failure in Canada, where we're gaining momentum in terms of the patient voice and advocacy around heart failure. You know, certainly we have all of those things that a good healthcare system should have. I like to think we have a good healthcare system here in Canada, but we have all those things around multidisciplinary chronic disease management programs, and we have access to good medications, and we have specialists who can provide care for these patients. And what we do really well in Canada is we have developed great policies around healthcare delivery and around heart failure management. And so I think we're at a pivotal place where we can bring all of those system elements together and really heighten the dialogue and conversation around heart failure. And I think the catalyst to doing that are patients. Those individual elements are somewhat disparate unless we have some mechanism organically of bringing them together and catalyzing and really combusting a conversation around heart failure. And so I'm really excited that patients are now coming into the mix, and I think that's going to be the next evolution of heart failure in Canada. And it was so inspiring to hear this morning at the conference that really every element of the dialogue and the conversation is being brought back to the patient-centered approach and to the patient. So we are beginning to make strides towards ensuring that the patient voice is represented in all of our work. So exciting times, I think.
Great. What's compared to the rest of the world in terms of treatments? Are we in line with the treatments? Are we, you know, we've got all the latest stuff involved, or? We've
got all the latest stuff. Unfortunately, I don't think it happens as quickly or as nimbly as one would hope. You know, we have delays in treatment from the time a clinical trial is released into the public domain to pharmaceutical therapies being available. That lag can be upwards of 7 years in the case of Virani, which is one product. But even beyond, you know, the product being approved by Health Canada, we then have issues around reimbursement and delay to reimbursement, which creates inequities in terms of individual heart failure patients' ability to access best care. So I guess to answer your question, we have it all, but it's not facile or nimble in terms of patients being able to access what they need.
So Jillian, where do you see patient advocacy in Canada in 5 years' time?
In 5 years' time?
Yeah.
I see in patient advocacy and heart failure being an completely equal player with all of the different organizations in Canada that have anything to do with heart failure. So I see us, I would love to see HeartLife become an affiliate of the Canadian Cardiovascular Society, or at least a partner with CCS, as well as we've already been adopted by the Canadian Heart Failure Society. So that way we can really help drive change, but demonstrate the equal value of the patient voice in the conversation.
So what are some of the challenges then that you're gonna come up against? What do you think the challenges for a heart failure patient group representing heart failure patients?
I think our biggest challenge is that our capacity, in being able to meet the already exploding demands from our patient population, which is going to quickly become aware of that we exist. So being able to properly serve our community and get the resources that they need. So mostly from the side of access to counseling and psychology, which is, I think, as you well know, one of the areas that is really, really lacking for our patients, and one of significant need. Obviously, having a really well-developed and robust peer-to-peer network is a way for us to provide the social support, but especially as you get into the later stages of heart failure and your treatment intensifies, your need for the extended services really increases a lot more. And so I want to make sure that there is that access, but that it's also equitable. And so working with these other organizations to make the access to treatment and to basic medical services for heart failure is a really big need, a big area in Canada. We're such a huge country, and we have people living all over, and and from one province to the next, from Prince Edward Island to Ontario, you get great care in Ontario, but in Prince Edward Island there's very limited care, and so limited in that there isn't access to specialists and also the additional resources and things like that. So even though we do have a quote unquote universal system, it's not really universal.
So why is that, Sean? What the disparity of care? Because that exists in the UK as well, where not everybody, we have guidelines and we have best practice and la 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 la, and everybody says, well, you need to do it this way, but actually it doesn't happen like that. So why don't we do things that we know work? Why don't we just do them? Why do we have disparity in care?
So I think part of the challenge is that healthcare is delivered provincially. And so you've got all the individual provincial governments then balancing their own individual priorities around healthcare service delivery, what their constituents think is important, their own individual budgets around health service delivery, around health services. And so that's where a lot of the disparity arises. There's been efforts, increasing efforts to federalize and nationalize some of those decisions around health service delivery, but we're a long ways off, and even some of the early steps that have happened still have resulted, unfortunately, in disparity. And so for an example of that is while we have a nationalized process around access to drug and pricing of drugs, that isn't the decisions that's made by that body isn't incumbent on each of the provinces to adopt. So it is a sort of recommendation, and then individual provinces still have the ability to make individual decisions based on that. So that lack of consistency leads to the inequity and disparity of care. As Jillian mentioned, we also have a large rural, remote population, a large First Nations population, and the geography to contend with in Canada. And so it makes it very difficult to access specialized resources when you have such a distributed population.
So, Sean, what do you think are the most exciting potential therapies in heart failure in the next 5 to 10 years? What's going to be are we looking at gene therapy? Are we looking at new pharmaceutical products? Are we looking at mechanical pipes? What are we looking at?
Well, I think we're always, struggling and to identify new pharmacological therapies, because those are actually easy to deliver for the most part, and hopefully those that have important impact on morbidity and mortality. We're realizing more and more, though, that not just morbidity and mortality are important endpoints to affect, but also things related to quality of life and symptoms. So I think we're going to continue to see that. I think we're going to see more and more technologies around mechanical assist devices, and that those be employed upstream in the patient's journey. And you can sort of think about this as all therapies that have entered the heart failure domain. We start with the sickest patients, and when that therapy demonstrates efficacy, we sort of say, well, let's try it in a less sick and less sick and less sick population. And that's been the case around pharmacological therapy, around device therapy, and I think we're going to begin to see that around mechanical circulatory support. And some of those trials are already underway with less sick populations and with more effective technologies. And then finally, I think, for at least for Canada and other jurisdictions around the world, the idea of remote monitoring, telemonitoring. This is, not received great. Well, it's received great attention. It's not had great outcomes necessarily from the clinical trials that have been done to date. But I think there will continue to be investment in this space, and that we will continue to look for that combination of strategies, whether that's just a weight or a biochemical marker, or more likely a combination of different markers that help us predict and hospitalization and manage patients in their homes, whether that's in rural BC or rural Canada, or even if you're living in an urban setting. Because to be honest, I don't want to have to leave work to see my healthcare professional if I don't have to, and I can be monitored and be productive at my desk, right?
Yeah. So, Marc, seeing as though we're going to be heading back now, give us a tip for people watching this who may be trying to manage their heart failure. What's your big tip?
I think my big tip is be proactive in your co-management of your care. And if you have questions, get to the HeartLife Facebook page.
Okay.
Facebook.com/HeartLife Canada, and join our group and ask questions. We're open to anything.
Okay, Jillian, what's the biggest tip?
The biggest tip, other than ask questions, because that's a really good one. Biggest tip. Put on your positive pants.
Put on your positive pants. What do you mean by put on your positive pants? What's the reason behind that?
Always try to look at things with the glass half full. You know, as hard as things are, there's always something in every day, in every breath, in every piece of music you listen to. There's always something to be grateful for, something to be positive about.
Sure.
Believe in yourself, believe in your team and the people around you, believe in your ability to get better and be better. Believe.
Right, so now we're going to go to the music. So we've heard a right eclectic mix of music here. So I have the Tiger. That's Sean's, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Sean.
Why is it Sean's?
Why is it your Sean?
Was that my choice?
You didn't.
Mine was the Journey.
Was yours Journey?
Mine was Journey.
Oh, okay.
Mine was Journey. Mine was Journey.
I thought that was Marc.
Which one's that?
Journey was the
I'll tell you what, I'll start with mine.
Okay.
I love 80s house classic, Manchester Hacienda type stuff. And I was going to put one which was the Manchester Camerata, which was a classical house done by an orchestra. But I'm not too sure people can relate to that, so I've just picked a tune. You've Got the Love, which is the original. I had to look at my Apple Music and wonder what it was, but it's just quite an upbeat song, really. So that's the reason why I chose that.
Marc?
I don't remember what I chose now. I think I chose
Don't Stop Believing by Glee.
Don't Stop Believing.
It was Journey.
Yeah, I mean, and with Don't Stop Believing, it's one of the things that I took with me throughout my disease, really.
You just stole that from me, though, right? That's why I just said believe, and that was the tie-in to my song. But that's okay.
You know what? I'll take Eye of the Tiger. I'll take Eye of the Tiger.
Okay.
I'll start again, throughout my journey, but it's the same thing.
You're stealing it.
No,
Hang on.
I'm saying.
Hang on, folks. We've got the wrong playlist here. We must have the wrong.
It was a lot of focus. It was a lot of focus. It was a lot of dedication, and it was hard work.
Okay.
And I mean, a part of me to get to where I was, I had to have the ability to ask those right questions, have the courage to ask those right questions, and have the courage to move forward. And so that's why I think Eye of the Tiger is fitting, because it is about courage, it is about hope, and you move forward.
Is that a bit like sort of running up the steps and everything?
That's it.
So you've increased your exercise capacity.
Yeah, I mean, I go at the very beginning.
Jumping at the top with your woolly hat on and going.
I try. You know, I tell you, at the very beginning, I couldn't walk up my stairs. And now, once again, despite what people may want me not to do, I'm playing squash once a week again.
I mean, that's amazing.
Because I love it.
That's amazing. You know, squash is really an intensive sport, but you know, for heart failure patients, people manage. I hate the word patients. People managing their heart failure.
Yeah.
Just simple walking up and down stairs, or even getting onto a step is a difficulty.
Yeah.
So for you doing what you've done is amazing, considering that you know you told me you're on a transplant list a couple of years ago.
Yep. When I was first diagnosed. Yeah.
That's superb, and that shows that failure isn't failure.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
That's exactly it.
So Jillian, reason for your music?
My music, I chose Ahead by a Century by the Tragically Hip. Mostly a big one because the Hip is a classic Canadian band, something that I've listened to since, I don't know, junior high school, I can't even remember. And the song Ahead by a Century is really, it's aspirational because I feel like with HeartLife, we really are going to be ahead by a century if we make sure that the patients are included and our voices are heard, and we can really be the disruptive innovation in cardiac care, especially with heart failure.
Wow. Are we lost?
I don't think
No.
Could be.
We're in front.
Do you know where
Yeah,
you're going?
but you're at the
Am I that
convention
way?
center's in the other direction.
Oh, got it.
So you
we're
are
gonna
on
think
front.
some more questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are on front.
Right. Okay. So more questions.
Good to know that it's the other
What
way.
about Sean's song?
Sorry. What?
Since
Haven't you said? Oh, sorry.
we solved the controversy.
I guess,
All right.
I guess I'll have to turn around.
Pull a Yui.
I'm going to. Cab driver style.
Well, again, it was about believing in yourself and believing in what a team can do, right? And I mean, I think it's interesting because there's the Journey version of that song, which is the one that I had originally referenced, which also has a poetic sort of reference to it as the patient journey. But now that I'm thinking about it, we played the Glee version, which is also kind of important because it's just a bunch of misfits coming together to do something meaningful and powerful and be more than themselves.
Yeah, it's not representative like anybody in this
Yeah.
town.
No, it's
Well, I chose it because I know if my daughter watches this, then I'll be like, number one dad. It's not the old school stuff. It's like, SKOOL. It's sort of, Glee's like, well, it probably isn't anymore, is it?
SKOOL?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
So, just a question: have you got heart failure nurses in Canada?
Yes. Yes.
Right. And what are they prescribing nurses, or what role do they play?
Well, there's sort of two, I don't want to say levels of nurses, but two different scopes of practice. So you can have nurse practitioners, which do have the ability to independently prescribe and manage patients with heart failure or any other disease for that matter. And then you have advanced practice registered nurses, who can't prescribe per se, but they can adjust medications with physician guidance and oversight.
Right.
And they do most of the disease management.
Stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And for most disease management programs, it's the nursing that has the most important impact from a healthcare team perspective. It's the nursing intervention. That's the most
Well,
important.
what our patients say in the UK is that if they have a heart failure nurse, they're like their nexus point, they're their hub of activity,
Yep.
and they can connect them with every sort of multidisciplinary team member, so like cardiac rehab or pharmacist or psychologist, and they also can feed into the specialist heart failure team, let's say in a hospital. You've got your cardiologist, and so they're very much valued heart failure nurses, but they're not that prevalent actually. Not a lot of countries have heart failure nurses, so in Europe, Germany doesn't. France is starting, but in the UK, they're very, there's a lot of heart failure nurses. And we don't know where they are, but we know that if we say to the patients who's the most important person in your team, and they say, oh, apart from the carer, then the heart failure nurse.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I think that's a pretty consistent message. and their utility.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we can utilize nurse practitioners more.
Yeah, and jurisdictions that have them, I think they're
Yeah.
a great resource as well. It's, it almost to a certain extent comes down to what resources available within the system to pay for these things, and oftentimes zero-sum game.
Yeah.
So here's a bit of a provocative one for you. So I'll ask you, do you think that offline patient support is dwindling and the way forward is through social media and online communities?
I think both play an important role, but I do feel that digital media is taking a larger part of that pie. Individuals have easy access to others in different demographics. Canada especially, we're a large country, people are spread across the country, and even flying across Canada takes 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But through digital media, you're in real time and you're chatting with someone that has a similar experience to you.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But there is an importance of having that face-to-face dialogue. Just having the ability to see someone face-to-face and say, okay, that person's been through what I've been through. And so they both play an important role, but digital media is definitely, I would say, taking the lead.
So how do you scale that? How do you go about scaling that? You've got a big country.
Yep.
How do you, how do you scale that big conversation?
So how we scale that conversation is regionally. We find advocate champions, whether that be physicians, nurse practitioners, individuals affected by heart failure, caregivers and patients, and we have them in each of those regions be a patient champion. And they help develop that conversation in their area. That's how I think we scale it.
Well, is this our parking garage here?
This one here?
It's the old one.
Oh, that's the old one.
That's the old
one that we went to before.
Yeah.
Jillian.
We're going up there and left. Yeah,
I
we're
made
up there and
everybody
left.
walk.
Oh, you do know where you are. You're
We're
not
up there and
lost,
left.
because I'm really lost. I don't even know what time of day it is.
We're actually in Montreal now.
Seriously? Oh, ça va? Okay. So what do you think the outputs of the heart failure conference are going to be? What are the top 3 outputs?
That's interesting. I mean, we're halfway through, so
I think we're down here.
yes, we're down here. I don't know. I think I'm really excited about the patient workshop tomorrow, because I think that's going to generate a lot of conversation and chatter. So I think one element of what comes out of this conference is going to be around patient engagement and advocacy, etc. I think there's going to be a big thing on diabetes.
Okay.
And diabetes and heart failure, or diabetes management.
Comorbidity.
Yeah. I think that's going to be a big topic as well. And again, remote monitoring. It's just come up over and over again. So I think people are, and today in the plenary they said, despite the literature, which hasn't been particularly kind to remote monitoring, how many people still think that this is going to be an important technology? Like 90% of the room put up their hand.
Okay.
So, but yes.
Well, that's we're finished, I think, aren't we?
Yeah.
Ready for the carpool consultation. So thank you very much to Sean or Dr. Virani. Thank you very much to Jillian. And thank you very much to Marc for a sensational carpool consultation. Even though we did get lost, but we didn't get lost because you knew where we were going. But
It was part of the
just watched the
strategy to keep us in
insecurity
the car.
aspect, and I was going, come on, we're going to finish. We've only got 20 minutes, and we've done about half an hour. Okay, so thank you very much, and we'll speak to you again in the next carpool consultation, which will probably be somewhere in the Midlands in the UK, in Birmingham. So we'll be back in the UK. We won't have the luxury of coming to Toronto to do a carpool consultation. So thank you very much. Bye for now.
Bye.